Please keep your feet off of the velvet upholstery. It costs $100 a square yard to replace, and we try to keep it as clean as possible. Okay, we're ready to take off now. So everyone wants to be seated and stay seated for the complete tour, which takes approximately 10 to 11 minutes. It's 3 complete loops around our property. If you look on the outside of the loop here, you'll see galloping goose number 7, which I'll talk about a little later. On the other side of it, you'll see 4011. That's one of our movie star engines. It was in a movie called Runaway, which is filmed in Colorado. You can actually see that movie on YouTube or on the internet. As we come down the crossing, here's Matt waiting at us. Matt's waiting in the here. We have a lot of really shot. And now it's a steam engine 682. That steam engine is the last standard gauge steam engine that we removed around Western Europe. As we finish the driver, this will focus in right at the seat in the train. Focus in means every 100 feet to go, we've got only about 15 minutes. We've got volunteers at the run table, so the crew stop out and run table. As we slow up going up this hill, if you look back at the roundhouse, there's a green tent on the east side of the roundhouse here. If you look inside that tent, you'll see the oldest steam engine in existence in Colorado. It was built in 1880. It used to run on the Denver South Park and Pacific, which ran up the Platte River up over Kenosha Pass into the South Park. And later it was called the Denver Leadville Dinosaur. We're having a fundraiser this summer to raise money for our land acquisition fund. If you look on the outside of the loop here, you'll see a vacant field. The owner of that land grows hay there and bales it every year. We have a first right of refusal to buy that land, so we're raising money for land acquisition so we can afford to buy that property. You'll notice on the inside of the loop, engine number 14, this used to run on the Georgetown Loop Railroad. It's called a Shea engine. It's different than most steam engines. Most steam engines have horizontal pistons that turn the wheels on each side of the train. That has vertical pistons on the right-hand side, and those pistons turn gears which control connects the drive shaft, which connects between the engine and timber to make it all all-wheel drive consist. On the inside of the loop, if you look here, you'll see the Denver Garden Railway setup. We've had a national convention here for 3 times over the last 10 or 15 years. On the ground level tracks, they run G-scale electrified trains. I don't know if they run, yeah, they're still running some. On the elevated track on the east end, they actually run live steam engines or battery-powered locomotives. Also coming up here is the unit from the Pikes Peak Railway, the top wheel loop. Here is engine number 1 from the 1960s. This engine ran from the late 1890s up until the 1950s before it was retired. It has a simple wheel called the rack, the top wheel, which engine has to follow up the rack. The brick building you'll see here on the inside of the loop, that's our library. We have the most extensive collection of historical information and artifacts for the majority of railroads that run in Colorado. That's going to last 130 years plus. Also, if you look on the back side of the roundhouse here as you come up the hill, you see a green light shade hanging over the doorway. That's our visitor's gallery. Be sure and stop in there. Coming up here on the inside of the loop is car number 50 of the Uinta Railroad. The Uinta Railroad ran from that Colorado just west of Grand Junction up into the gilsonite mines of Utah. Gilsonite is a mineral that was used early on in paint. Every Model A that Henry Ford ever built had gilsonite in the blast paint. Our workers restored that car to use as a chicken house, chicken pen. And we had to look for more black and white photographs in order to sell it. If you look on the other side of these stock cars, you'll see a big yellow and black F9 Rio Grande Wrestling locomotive division diesel electric. That engine was built in 1955, purchased by the Rio Grande Railroad to sell all of their passenger trains, including the California Jet with the Rio Grande Jet and the Winter Park Sea Train. It's probably one of the most photographed F9 engines in the country. There were 7 American diesel vehicles that took through Rio and 3 of them here. There's only one instance in Colorado, which is not Knoxville, Winter Park, California. The other 3 are either in Ridgeway, Colorado, Telluride, Colorado, or and if they're not in those cities, they're either Mine and Silicon Mortgage or Cambridge. The third city I hear is the north. As you come by the roundhouse, you can look in stall number 4, which is the second one from the west side. The west side is the side facing the house. We have engine 20, that's another one of our unit style engines. There's an engine called a typical tomahawk, which you can also see on the unit, in which Nolan now knows for the big one. It's in front of the back of that black and white small friction gun. Black and yellow, see. Oh, we're slipping. Get those standards in. Well, it's slipping the unit. If you look on the inside of the loop here, you'll see a stainless steel observation car off the Super Chief, which was a streamliner that ran from Chicago to LA. That streamliner during its heyday was called the Train of the Movie Stars. The upholstery work on the vintage car on the end of the train here, which is 146 years old. The upholstery work on that car, the upholstery work on this car 50, and the upholstery work in 284, which is down in front of the roundhouse, is all done by our conductor on the train today. This shade, engine number 14, used to run on the Georgetown Loop Railroad. You notice this refrigerator car here, 167, the yellow-orange car. You notice on each end there are little hatches, 2 hatches. Workers can crawl up there, drop down nice into the bunker area. That's Michelle reading, remember? You'll notice in the front of the train there's a oil tanker with a big green branch on it. There's a story that goes with that. There's a wealthy oil man in southwestern Colorado who transported his oil from his wellhead to a now non-existent refinery in Alamosa, Colorado. And his grandkids kept bugging him saying, "Gramps, which oil tanker is yours?" He said, "Well, the next time it comes into service, I'll have the word Gramps in it." in very large letters so you'll know which ones to be on. This concludes our tour for this afternoon, and thank you all for riding. And remember, please stay seated until the train comes to a complete stop. The engineer sets his train brake, and he blows his horn one small blast. That'll tell you it's okay to get off the train. As we move into the loading area slowly, if you look on the outside of the loop, you'll see a big steam engine. It's on the other side of these cars. It's number 5629. That's the largest steam engine in our collection. That engine used to run from 1941 until into the 1950s. It pulled trains between Chicago and Denver, and during its heyday, it could pull 77 heavy freight cars at speeds up to 100 miles per hour. Thanks for riding with us today, and we'll be collecting donations as you get off the train for our land acquisition.